Here is a Hampton Bay branded 52-inch Genoa Emperor style ceiling fan in the white finish. This is a more recent model. This is one of the last, probably one of the last ones that they made in the very late 90s. These white ones are kind of uncommon. These style fans, these Emperor style fans, were certainly starting to go out of fashion by then. This is probably 96, 97, somewhere in that range, mid to late 90s. The blades are not reversible. I mean, they are reversible, but they're the same color, white on either side. It is flush mounted, which I don't like. I think that hinders the performance and adds additional noise. But it didn't come to me with a down rod, so when I just put this up here because I needed a fan, this is the way it was. And eventually I'll change it, put a down rod on there. I think eventually I'm also going to move this fan down the hall into the end room in the front where the other computer is, and put something smaller in here, because this is really the only room that I could use a 42-inch or 32-inch fan in and have somewhat acceptable performance levels. So let's go ahead and start this thing up. Put the camera onto the tripod. And it's kind of low. Let's go to the rear view. There we go. Oops. Okay, and nice videography here. Alright, there we go. It's on high. It's a very quiet fan, even flush mounted. The motor is very quiet, and the blades are quiet, but yet the airflow is exceptional. Very powerful. Especially being flush mounted, I can only imagine how much more air would move not flush mounted. Now that creaking, those creaking noises that you was hearing is a byproduct of it being flush mounted, because the slight movement is now up against the drywall and it's kind of creaky. If it was on the rod, it wouldn't be doing that. But it's moving a tremendous amount of air for something being flush mounted. Very impressive. It's even shaking the lamp. Alright, let's go down to the medium. The motor is completely inaudible on medium and low. And the wind noise is pretty much inaudible on medium as well, but yet it's still very strong. This is a pretty important fan in my collection. I got this from an older woman I've worked for a bunch of times over the years. She had a medical office, and this was in the reception desk area where the computers were, which is what I would go there to service. And sometimes it was on, sometimes it wasn't. It definitely has seen quite a bit of use over the years. And she had called me out one day, and maybe it was over this past summer, summer 2022. And she called me out there to do something, and the whole building was all like tore apart and everything. And I asked her what the deal was. And she said that they have to move out of the office tomorrow because all of a sudden the building is getting demolished. And she had the fan going at the time. They were packing everything up, and I said, you know, are you taking the fan? And she says, well, I don't know. I like the fan, but I don't know. And I says, all right, well, can I pull it out if you're not taking it? And she said, absolutely, take it. So when I was done with the job, I took the fan out, and now I have it. So this was salvaged just in time. Pretty sure I made a video of that story. There's something called Right Place at the Right Time or something like that. Very unusual. Very unusual. You find yourself in a situation like that where you can grab stuff out of the buildings right before they get taken down, but sometimes it happens. Oh, jeez. Alright. And here's the low. The bearings do have hunter bearing syndrome where it gets that little clicking sound every now and again. It's very quiet. You can only hear it if it's dead silent in the house. You know, no pellet stove, no boiler, no other fans, no music. So it's not really a bother because it's very seldom like that, at least at this time of year. I tell you, even on low, the amount of air this is moving is impressive. I can feel, I'm standing here in the doorway, not even in the room. I'm in the doorway, and I can feel a steady stream of air pushing out of the room. These old Hampton Bay fans, they take a lot of slack for some reason, and I really don't understand why, because these things, although they were economy models, they perform really well and they last a long time. So the flack is really uncalled for as far as I'm concerned. And this is really a great fan. The amount of air this is pushing out on low is impressive. I actually very seldom use it above low because if I'm sitting right there at the computer, low is adequate. Steady breeze is felt. Very nice. Alright, cut that off. I believe these were made by the Air-Cool, which seemed to be arguably the best brand that the Hampton Bay name used over the years. You know, the SMC was good too, but a lot of those, the bearings didn't hold up for, you know, after a couple decades they started to have bearing problems. The Air King, or not the Air King, the King of Fans models, although a lot of them I really like, the irons very consistently aren't made right and they always droop. But the Air-Cool ones, like I believe this one is, seem to be pretty consistent with very good quality. So that's it for this one. This 52-inch Hampton Bay Genoa that I sell big time. Very nice fan. Good looking fan, good performance, and a neat history behind it.